Question: when dealing with natural gas or propane, one often overlooked part with dealing with either natural gas or propane. First, if one buys a natural gas or a propane unit, I'm not certain on the regulators. The certain when you actually buy something, say if you go to buy a set of gas logs or gas stove, etc., it may not be a bad idea. My opinion is to inquire if this either works on either natural gas or propane. Now, there are certain regulators that are certain units that say they work on both. I'm not certain if they use two. I'm not certain if one is configured. But now there are ways to convert a natural gas to a propane or propane to natural gas in some units. And so that is a very doable situation. But the question is, which type of gas actually burns hotter? It's actually propane. Propane burns hotter than natural gas. So do keep in mind that when installing a unit. So now, why would one use propane over natural gas? There are sundry reasons. One being that you may be in the country, you may you may not have a natural gas hookup, and I guess hence that's the reason maybe some people go get propane and tanks, and of course they use them with the grills and etc. But if you're in a city and the natural gas has run through your area, in all probability you would be working on a natural gas unit. So if you pay a natural gas bill to your utilities company, that's a natural gas. So, but to answer this question, which burns hotter, propane or natural gas? Propane actually burns a little bit hotter than natural gas. So do keep in mind that the flame from propane may be a little bit hotter. Now, both of these may be measured in water columns. That goes from PSI to water columns. PSI is nothing but pounds per square inch, just like you put X amount of PSI in your tire. But in water columns is a fancy name for low pressure PSI. So when you hear the word water columns and you think this is an arcane term that I've never heard and don't understand, it's just think of it like this. It's a little bit lower pressure than PSI because the units in your house may run in the range of not an exact science, but 7 to 11 water columns. So if you actually go above that, say if you have a 2-pound meter, then you would actually be pushing too high, and your pallet may not even light. So if you hear of the water company or a water technician or a heating and air guy or a plumbing guy talk about water columns, just think of it like this, a real simple term. Just think, you've got PSI, say on your right hand, it goes down to a pressure. On your left hand, it's a lower pressure than PSI, and it's measured in water columns. So water columns is, now there's a more scientific definition, but for the practical person, just think of it as it's a lower pressure than PSI. So, and your units in your house are going to need a specific amount of pressure to run. If the pressure is too low, it will not run, and if the pressure is too high. So, but the question here, which burns hotter, propane or natural gas? Propane burns hotter, natural gas. So, which one is better? My opinion is they're both good. It depends on the configuration, where you're at, where your house is at. Are you in the country? Are you in the city? So there are too many variables here to make a universal statement. In my opinion, they're both good if installed properly, and if used properly. So anyway, propane burns hotter than natural gas. Natural gas does not burn quite as hot as propane, but they're both used for residential homes and maybe even some commercial use too. Thank you for watching, and hope these tidbits of information help. If you like, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and have a great day.